Hi ninjas, how are you doing? It's a girl Owamie aka Miss Fearful, bring back for our entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, most definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell. I absolutely love you, ninjas. I saw someone actually make fun of the way I speak, and they were like, I couldn't hear the first 3 sentences with my intro. Guys, let me tell you something. If you have an accent, you do not know that you have an accent. And I think that's the issue with me. I don't think that I have an accent. Like, I just feel like I speak normal, right? However, you guys know that I had an issue with my tooth that fell off last year, December. Not December, actually, November. And I had to get a new tooth, which really, honestly, it changed the way I speak so much, because I think it's the tooth that like my tongue hits when I speak. So I felt like I had to relearn how to speak. Even till today, there are certain words that I could easily pronounce that I cannot pronounce as easily today. You understand? So please just like, guys, stop making fun. Okay, what if it's my 13th reason? Because I've been going through a lot. But anyway, ninjas, let's go ahead and get into this Chende. I'm gonna go ahead and report on this issue that actually went down. So I'm gonna go ahead and just read this article, and this is from Agreement Mkare on Facebook. It says, Midrand-based woman arrested for murder of boyfriend. A 22-year-old Midrand woman from Krementad in Guyana, Limpopo, has been arrested for allegedly murdering her boyfriend in the early hours of Monday, 22nd September 2025. The victim, 31-year-old Mr. Shichavo. Oh, Ntsanwisi. His song, right? I'm Venda, by the way, because I know some of you guys have that will have that confusion. No, it's not the same. Far from each other, very far. So Chavo Ntsanwisi. Oh, I struggled. I'm so sorry. Originally from Minga village, outside Malamulele, and an employee of the Greater Guyana municipality was found dead at Colnbrook Estate in Noordwijk, Midrand. SAPS Midrand spokesperson Sergeant M. Bapama said police responded to a complaint at around 1:58. On arrival, officers discovered Ntwanisi lying on the kitchen floor with a stab wound to the upper chest near the neck. A knife with a yellow handle was found next to his body. The suspect, identified as Ms. Joanne Ntokoto Mabasa, was found at the scene and admitted to stabbing her boyfriend. Paramedics from Net Care Ambulance declared Ntwanisi dead on the spot. Mabasa was arrested and taken into custody at SAPS Midrand. The duty officer, Crime Office LCRC, and mortuary services attended the scene. The police investigations are still going on. Okay, now obviously, as you guys heard, this is some really horrible news. They did say that a 22-year-old woman, I'm gonna go ahead and change that to a 22-year-old child murdered a victim who is a 31-year-old man. I'm gonna go ahead and add men on the 31, and I'm gonna change woman to a child, a 22-year-old child. Now, the victim, Mr. Ntwanwisi, has unfortunately passed away, and my deepest condolences to his family. So sorry for your loss. You know, his family, his friends, and everyone obviously that loved, knew him, and cared for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and just address both of them with their ages, right? Because like I don't have short-term memory, hey, I forget people's names easily. But I think that for me, this is gonna be where we disagree. A lot of us disagree, because I did actually ask a question, and there were people that were disagreeing with me on Facebook, and I just didn't understand, like, am I living in a different country as other people? Are we in different time zones? Are we in different, like, I don't understand this part. Okay, that's for me. Now, the alleged, the 22-year-old her name kana I'm sorry, guys. I don't even think they mentioned her name here, but no, they did. It's just that, let me just say, the 22-year-old. So the 22-year-old, right? She does have a YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken. That's where she was even talking about how her man was out. If he comes back late, she's gonna. You understand? And she said, I'm kidding. She's laughing. You can see that she's making light of the situation. It's like a joke to her and obviously us. Now I don't really fully know, like, when it comes to the timeline, but it was not that night. It was definitely not that night. But can we please just start here? I remember when we were all as a country agreeing, and we were all on the same level, agreeing that the Alabuga program targeting children between the ages of 18 to either 22 or 23 was suspicious. Like, the age group alone was suspicious. As a country, we all agreed, right? So the part I'm not understanding is, why is it now such a thing when I now am saying that a 22-year-old is a child, but now because a man is involved, oh no, the 22-year-old is not a child anymore. That's a woman. That's a fully grown woman. That is a what? That's a child. A 22-year-old is a child. Now let's go ahead and also talk about this. I will never ever, for as long as I live in this country, I will never, actually not just in this country, anywhere in the world, I will never ever understand what a 30-year-old would be doing with a child. Like, that's my opinion. A 31-year-old, what does a 31-year-old have in common with a 22-year-old? That's a part that I will never ever understand. It will never be explained to me to a point where I understand. I have explored all different corners of this universe to try understand it, and as a 35-year-old woman, I will never ever get it. I have not gotten it in the longest time. Now, there's a time that I had actually spoken about when I am 30 years old. I can date a 70-year-old if I want. At 30, most of the time, you know who you are. You know who you are. As 35, I can literally date an 80-year-old. And mentally, I would thrive there because I'm a woman. I'm a fully grown woman. I know who I am. I said that an 85-year-old is not going to mentally, physically, and whatever, like, try groom me. That's why grooming is a word that actually, they groom you when you're young. From when you're young, you grow up with that mentality. They are never going to get a 35-year-old and say, we're going to groom her. It's difficult, which is one of the reasons why even the Alabuga didn't want us older people. They wanted children. They knew which age mates to target, the 18s to the 23. Because guess what? They are too young. They are naive. They know nothing about life. But legally, there's a document that says you are an adult, go out there to the world, and that's why they target them. And I don't see any difference. Like, okay, you will hate me all you want. I don't see any difference between an Alabuga Russian program, the owners that want to take advantage of young kids, and a 30-year-old that is going to still go to the same age group. What is the difference between this person and those Alabuga people? Or is it because one comes in the name of love? Stop abusing our children. I know someone will say, oh no, you have now missed the plot. We're talking about the murder. Guys, a 22-year-old is not fully developed mentally. Not even halfway there. This is a child that already you find that is unable to even still regulate her emotions. When I tell you guys that as a society, protect your children, I don't even know how much I'm going to have to emphasize this. Protect your children. That is why it's also so important to regulate what your children watch. Who your children watch. Who your younger sisters watch. If your younger sister is watching an influencer that is violent, they will think violence is the way to go. If when your influencer is upset, they throw stuff, what stops this child from saying, oh, that's normal behavior? Also looking at the fact that in the comment section or everywhere, everyone will be defending them. So this child that is not even matured will think this is the way of life. children are easy to manipulate. So you are a 31-year-old, you're dating a 22-year-old child. I ask myself, what do you have in common with a child? What is that relationship on about? She's a very beautiful young girl. A very beautiful young girl. Other than you getting sex and knowing that she's so young that you can be able to gaslight her, you can be able to get away with a lot, I don't see any other reason why you would be with a child. Because I can guarantee you right now, mentally, I doubt that this child has any input that is going to come out and be of greater value to this man. I just don't think that they are equally yoked when it comes to mental capacity. And that is why you will go and fetch a child and expect a child to act like an adult. It will never ever happen. As an Owamie, you come home late, or as an Owamie, you cheat on me. As an Owamie, if we are having disagreements, I damn well know that action versus consequences. I damn well know that if I was to throw this phone at you, it might hit you somewhere where it might kill you. So I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to go to jail. I can't take this knife and I launch at you and try stab you, because I might be able to stab you and I might kill you and I might spend the rest of my life in jail. I'm an older person. I know all this stuff. And it's not because of I'm smart. It's not because I know it all. It's because I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Literally, I'm an adult. Those are all stuff that a child does not know. I know there's an instance, right? And I'm just not going to mention names, where this guy, he went on to date a very young girl. Allegedly, he introduced her to drugs. She ended up dying. He also unfortunately died. But as much as people are going to talk about whatever it is that they're going to talk about and everything like that, as much as our hearts may be painful, you know, that, okay, fine, somebody did lose their life. Mara, what were you doing? What were you looking for in a child? A child is unable to regulate their emotions. A child is not, a child, first of all, is not physically evolved or developed yet, and also not emotionally, not mentally. But because you see a body that you can use, you see a body that you're attracted to because you're attracted to young children, because personally for me, that's still a child. And that's my personal opinion. Sure, the law says that this person is an adult. Do I really think that that person is an adult? 1,000% not. That's someone that is still so easily manipulated, guys. And you know what is the other thing again that hurts? It's the fact that they have developed a system that works. It works for them. And that system is that teach young kids that the older women are jealous of you. They're jealous of you because this man wants you guys. This man want to be with you. They are older, you know, they've expired, right? Because they're over the age of 30. Or was it 35 that Penwa was talking about? I can't remember if it was 30 or 35. But, you know, it's basically like, you know, it's over for them. So you are still young. You are still it. And any advice that they give you that is against you guys going and being with this old man is out of pure jealousy. They hate you. They want to be you, and that's why they're saying all this stuff. And it's so unfortunate because the same generation that will believe that the older generation is jealous of them will grow up to be adults themselves, and they will see, oh my gosh, the older generation was not jealous. I was taken advantage of so much, and I wish I listened. So they will now try advise the younger generation that has now been automatically programmed that this generation that is coming to you to talk to you is simply because they're jealous of you. And it's a systematic thing that works for them. It goes great. This old man gets to take advantage of young kids over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it unfortunately is a lived experience. It's an experience that you will only see once you're now older and you realize that, oh my gosh, I think better now. I think clearly now. And the person that I was dealing with at the age of 21, 22, 23, I would never be caught dead dealing with them. And if it was not that it was a public thing, when I tell you guys that if somebody had come and said, hey, you were dealing with this person, I would refuse until I faint. So I do understand, and I was so disappointed when I saw even some women actually talking about, hey, why this and this, and nobody's talking about how this 22-year-old child is also like a victim of this. It makes sense to me, like if it was, oh, she's 22, she was dating a 25-year-old, she's 22, she's dating a 26-year-old. Like for me, I'm just like, okay, but all the way above, on the other side, in the 30s, what are you doing with a child? You couldn't even say a 26-year-old to date. You couldn't say a 27-year-old to date. Somebody that at least is mentally matured. It just breaks my heart, because I do have a feeling that more and more and more cases like this are going to come up. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, are going to come up where one is going to jail, one is dead, or one is going to jail, one is in critical conditions and stuff like that. And it's such a sad situation, because I do feel like older men, they do actually take advantage of young children. And no, a 31-year-old is not an old man. No, he's not. If you're 31, you're not an old person. I'm 35 and I'm not an old woman. I'm an old woman. Like, I'm an older woman. You woman, you understand? But what I'm simply saying is that a 31-year-old compared to a 22-year-old girl, that's an old man. Same as a 31-year-old woman dating a 22-year-old boy, that's an old woman to a child. And I don't understand why this thing is honestly so difficult to actually understand. These children have not mentally regulated. They have not regulated their emotions. And here you are being old, knowing the reasons why you're going to a child. It mostly has to do with manipulation. You understand? It mostly has to do with manipulation. They truly do believe, and this is a topic that I'm gonna tell you guys like on its own as time goes. I will create a full video on that. The reason why in African cultures it has always been advised and pushed upon that you need to get married young, you need to have kids young, is because they know and understand that once you are older, you're not gonna just have a child as easy as that. You're gonna think. You are not gonna just get married all for the sake of, oh, I'm getting married. You now think clearly. But if you at the age of 23 are already married, you already have kids, even if you are at 32 and you're like, I don't think motherhood is really for me, you don't have a choice in the matter anymore, because you already are a mother. You don't have a matter in the case or the issue of my husband, I don't want to be married. You already are married, okay? You can choose to say that, okay, fine, you're going to go and get a divorce. But remember, guys, you've been groomed for a very long time, because yes, 22, 21, 18, 23 is still a groomable age. So they knew that that man is gonna groom you, so it's gonna be fine. By the time you're 30, you've been groomed. That's why the moment you reach 30 and you're not married, they're like, this one, it has nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with the fact that they know that you now think clearly. You think clear. So it may be difficult for you, because it's not because you're gonna be, not people are gonna not be approaching you. It's simply because you're now picky. You now pick. You know what you want. So my deepest condolences to this guy. I don't believe that he deserved to die. I personally do also believe that that 22-year-old child was also a victim in this whole thing. Stop taking advantage of kids. Stop taking advantage of children. And I truly do not understand why it's such a huge thing. Because if it was a matter of, it was a woman that was 31 years old and she was dating a 22-year-old boy, and a 22-year-old boy killed the 31-year-old woman, I'm telling you, the conversation we're going to be having now is going to be completely different, because everybody was going to be like, what was she doing to a child? What did she do? What did this and that and that? So this whole situation, guys, for me, I'm not even going to lie to you guys, I did find it to be heartbreaking on the fact that it seems like people are not really coming forth and talking about how this 22-year-old was also a victim in this situation. But anyway, quite what you guys think of this whole situation from Owamie. I love you guys so much. And yeah, I just thought that I should come out and actually talk about this, because when I saw this and all the comments that were coming and how they chose to label a 22-year-old as a woman, and everyone is agreeing with it, but the time that the Alabugarashan thing was up, everybody was agreeing with a 22-year-old is a child. But now, because men is involved, all of a sudden she has to be a woman, upgraded to womanhood. Nonsense. She's still a child. And for me, I honestly, like, I wish I can even have a sit down with her and find out, like, okay, what is the backstory of everything? Not her stabbing, because there's no justification of killing anybody, and I'm not even trying to stand up for her. I'm just simply saying that, can grown men stop this thing of going to young children, because those are children that have not regulated their emotions. So when an adult will sit and think, let's talk this through, a child will feel, let me just stab him, or not even think about it, just there's a knife, take in the rage of moment, because this child has not regulated their emotions. You are making them see things that they shouldn't be seeing at that age. Because high chances that a 22-year-old dating a 25-year-old, a 25-year-old at most times doesn't have a car, doesn't have the amount of money, doesn't have the amount of manipulation, has not seen as much as a 31-year-old, has not this and that, and there are a lot of factors. But I feel like we're all just trying to, choosing to, like, but yeah, for me, again, as I have to say, my deepest condolences to his family. But yeah. From Owamie, I love you guys. Stay blessed, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye, ninjas.